Ha ha ha! Burn, sheep, burn! Oh, ahoy, Let's Watchers, I didn't see you come in. In the last episode, as you may recall, I did horribly, just a terrible job. But I still managed to get the Eternal Water Source, and as you can see, we've got a nice little moat around our core of light as it's coming along. We've got the twin spouts up there, sort of connecting things. It's looking pretty good, kind of sharp. Now, in the last episode, I said that I was going to buy some upgrades, but it looks like I'm not really due for much in the way of significant upgrades. Let's take care of it real quick, though. Yes, I'd like to upgrade Phoenix Wright, who has enough for the Phoenix Dash. This is a skill that I find very important for Phoenix Wright. And I will demonstrate in just a moment, because it's pretty straightforward. It's his B button attack, so when you press B, you do this, you turn into a flaming ball of fire, and you charge forward rather quickly. It helps him get around levels more quickly, because he's actually a fairly slow character. Now let's switch characters real quick. Take out Alduin. Yes, that's right. I'm going to make a concerted effort in the future to refer to everyone by just their nickname, because I realize I just keep floundering back and forth. It's kind of awkward. Like, I'm just going to stick with one set of names, and I've gone to the trouble of nicknaming them, so I'm going to do that. Now, as much as I want to get this double spooky ability, I'm short on that. I'm going to pick up her flight, as I feel like that may be useful for an upcoming level. I don't think she'll need it, but in order to get to the branching upgrade pads, which are sort of like the highest upgrade types for every character, you need to buy every upgrade that comes before them anyway. So you're going to want to buy every upgrade possible. Just pretty much, you're going to want to buy every upgrade possible. I don't know where I was going with that. But right now I know where I'm going, except I'm going the wrong way, which is very helpful. I need to grab this irritating oil can. But, Vasco, you might be asking yourself, don't you hate that oil can? Yes. Yes, I do, as I just made it clear. However, I will need it to open up the next level. Now, in the last episode, I used it on that robot by the cave to get a sapphire, winged sapphire. Here, I need to talk to this guy.
Oil can.
That's right, I do have an oil can. It's not over there. Thank you for disrupting my gameplay with your cutscene. Have some oil.
Good morning, Skylanders! Whew. Thanks for the oil up. I've been stuck in that position for ages.
Wow, so many things dirty about what he just said.
Good. Hey, I owe you big time.
Mostly the oil for you younger viewers.
I can make you rich. See, I'm a Clamtron 4000. Just find me some clams and I'll mash them all up into a big fat pearl. How's that?
Big fat pearl, you say? I bet that's really valuable at the shop. So why don't we find some clams? Now, I've never been fully clear on exactly how to go about doing this, but I think if you attack them, you stun them so that they can't run away. But if you don't, they will try to run away and eventually, like, bury themselves underground, which is annoying. So it's helpful to have a ranged attack, like the upgraded Lightning Breath of Alduin here. So we need to collect 5 of these. I just attacked that mole child for no good reason. There we go. There's another one, and the last one I need.
As promised, one new gleaming white pearl coming right up.
Awesome.
A little more pressure.
Wonder how much gold that's worth.
Heat. Now just gift it around with a touch of elbow grease and presto! What? A shiny new black pearl? Oh no, what happened?
Black pearl?
What did you do
I didn't know that Captain Jack Sparrow was in this game.
Gift.
But black pearls are far more valuable in today's market. Here, let me take a look. It's not a pearl. Big fuse? Kaboom!
I don't understand. What are you talking about?
You made a bomb!
A
Good
bomb?
news.
Ah,
I
crap.
found another piece to the great machine. The cyclopses have stolen the crystal eye. Figures. They always wanted it for their own. Even named their castle after it. But the bad news is they've sealed off the bridge entrance that used to unite the temple to their kingdom. It looks like we're gonna have to find another... Wait, is that a bomb? Where in Skylands did we get a bomb?
I made it myself.
Really? Well, that might be just what we need. A bomb could possibly open up the entrance to the tunnel. Or blow us all up in the process. Hopefully the former.
All right then. Just come back anytime you need another one. Apparently, I can make these things all day long.
How does he know that? He hasn't tried to make a second one yet. Alright, give me this bomb. So this is the way that we open up the next level in sequence, of course, if you hadn't figured that out.
Wow! Thanks for breaking down the barrier.
Look, it's a proper mole person, as opposed to all the other pseudo-mole people.
Thank goodness you aren't cyclopses. Wait, you aren't cyclopses, are you? I sure hope not, because I just escaped from their terrible Crystal Eye Castle.
Doesn't look like he sees too well, does he?
Oh, I saw some terrible things in that place. Or at least I think I did. They have a giant crystal orb that focuses energy. I fear they'll use it for evil. That seems to be their thing, you know. Evil and not bathing. Phew.
That's it! That's the crystal eye that we need to rebuild the core! That's where you must go. Recover that orb and bring it back to the ruins. Of course, the downside is that you will inevitably have to battle the cyclopses, so be careful.
Yeah, and hold your nose. Meanwhile, I can take you there, no worries. I may be a little nearsighted, but since there's only one bridge leading to their castle, it should be a
snap?
Yeah, that's right.
It's not even really a joke. That wasn't worth all that, like, mugging. Anyway, let's get on with the level, because that took an inordinate amount of time. Shablam!
Right, let's go.
Ahem. Other way?
Of course it is. I must say, I'm not looking forward to seeing those cyclopses again.
It's okay, you're pretty nearsighted. I don't think you'll be seeing them at all.
Before I escaped, I was at the top of the castle. It was there that I saw something that made my normally blurry vision suddenly super clear. It must have been the Crystal Eye. To get up there, you'll need to destroy the 2 seeing towers in order to open the big gate.
It seems weird for a bunch of cyclopses to make 2 seeing towers as a lock to their castle. But I don't really know that much about Cyclops culture, so maybe that's racist. Anyway, for one, I want to mention I have no idea how I would have gotten out of this castle. It's pretty well fortified, there's a lot of enemies, and he is not very capable. Secondly, I also never really noticed that, they've given us a blind character to lead us into the territory of the Cyclopses. So it's the blind leading us to the half-blind, as it were. So that's kind of funny, I guess.
Oh, yes. One more thing, and this one is very important. Once you get past the gate...
See you next fall. Yacha. Alright, there's a new enemy type, the Timid Clops. It's kind of awkward to say. They throw barrels at you. I think their favorite video game is Donkey Kong, for anyone who's interested in Skylanders trivia. Alright. Earth Skylanders are stronger here, so why don't we take them up on that offer? Welcome back to the fray, Garchomp. Use your punches for great punch power. Yeah, so how's everybody doing? Oh, right. Pretty sure I can sneak past these underground, although I don't ever remember trying. Yeah, that totally worked. Cool. Timid Clopses are running away, which I suppose should be expected. There's a lot of meat around here. There's like one of those at the bottom of that hill, and then there's one of those at the top of that hill. Yeah, more barrels. I get it, Donkey Kong, cool. Yeah, that thing, that like pterodactyl thing that just flew by, not an enemy. It's not even really an interactable character. But it is a nice touch. because I'm pretty sure it is also one-eyed, so it just, like, adds some weird, like, Cyclops culture. These guys are tricky. Cyclops choppers, they have this, like, weird, like, helicopter spin move, and, like, they mostly don't take damage during it. It says they're invincible, but I think you can damage them, but it's a lot more difficult for one. And secondly, in order to do so, you're usually taking damage yourself. It seems, weirdly enough, like close-range moves are more likely to hit them while spinning, which is why you're more likely to take damage while trying to attack them that way.
Are stronger in this zone.
Air Skylanders, huh? I don't know why, but I feel like messing around with these suggested Skylander types today. Haven't used Guile in a while. Rhymed. That's not funny. Cyclops Chucker. Thrown stones will break your bones. That's not quite a pun. Dang it. You stay away from me. And my children. My weird breath children. Why is everyone trying to hurt this single mother? How rude. She's just trying to make it on her own. Ow. Okay, everybody's dead now. At least I think so. There may be one guy at the far side of the room. It's actually been a while since I practiced this level. I was gonna record this right after the last one, but as you saw I did really poorly at that, and thought I'd be better off saving this one. Check it out, our first collectible of the level, the Story Scroll.
A note from Professor P. Grungally says, Cyclopses are amazing stonemasons. They've constructed stone castles, statues, and temples throughout Skylands. The stone-carved ships of the Cyclops Navy were not their proudest moment.
Yeah, stone's kinda heavy. I don't know if you know this. As a pirate, I'm required to know this by pirate law. Some more treasure. Yeah, there's a cart at the top of these stairs when you come in here. You have to attack it to release this treasure. There's a couple of collectibles that work like that, but they're actually relatively rare. It's kind of weird. But let's pick up this teddy bear thing. The one-eyed teddy bear, Bearclops. Ooh, Bearclops, that's a cool name. Teddy Cyclops. I like Bearclops better. So, there. I actually forgot that I had enough gold to upgrade Guile back at the ruins, so I apologize for not doing that. I'll try to remember to do that either at the end of this episode or at the start of the next one. I'm not sure. Hi, everybody. There's guys in these barrels. I really like Guile's like sonic breath attack, because like you have to get kind of close to use it, but like it's really good for attacking like a bunch of charging enemies, and a lot of the smaller enemies sort of do that. That's like their tactic in this game. Don't remember the exact solution to this puzzle. Yeah, I think I just dump him in the hole. I don't think it actually matters, because I think either way you end up putting one down there and then the other on top of it. Hi guys. Oh, sorry, you all died already. I will be quicker to greet you in the future, I hope. I want a pretzel. Yeah, so I fill that little trench up so that I can walk back here. And then you want to push this turtle back here? Yeah, so that you'll be able to cross this gap once you go up the stairs. But first, more treasure. I guess I'm singing now. Kind of. I don't know. Not a very good singer. At least I don't think so. I had like a music teacher back in middle school who was like really adamant that I should like be a part of the school's choir. But I didn't really want to. Also, I can't like read music and like I just like don't have a lot of the skills necessary to be like considered musically talented. Oh yeah, here's a tricky spot. Okay, so like yeah, we get attacked by a bunch of enemies. That's not actually what I'm talking about. Although I don't like these rock guys, they're jerks. The like cyclopses or whatever. The tricky thing is that here's like an elemental gate, and like in the amount of time it takes you to go through this one, you might forget to check the end of this path. Or guess what? There's another elemental gate. They're like right next to each other.
To unlock this gate.
So yeah, here's an earth gate, and here's a soul gem, which I'm gonna pick up right now. This is for Prism Break. He's an Earth Skylander, so makes sense for a soul gem to be here by this earth gate. I haven't played with with Prison Break, so I don't really know what this does. But that's cool, that's fine, we're not going to show him off. But we are going to switch to Garchomp, so that we can go through... Remember this being really unnecessarily difficult. But I don't remember specifically what it is. I will remember when I see it, though. Yeah. I really like Garchomp, but I sort of like him despite his, like, attacks. Because I don't really like the close-range Skylanders much at all, to be honest. He and Sheik are... Well, no. He, Sheik, and Igniter. I guess I do like a fair number of the close-up ones. Igniter's awesome, but Igniter's sort of awesome because of his things that aren't his close-range attacks, even though they're allegedly his signature moves. Let's teleport! I'm bored of talking to myself. Okay, so, like, here's this, like, room with, like, a bunch of switches, and when you stand on them, they move certain combinations of these blocks up and down. Once again, I have the solution here, because I would not have remembered this in the time it took me to play since then. Alright, so I need... bottom right. I think it goes like counterclockwise. Bottom right. Oh. Yeah, here's an annoying thing about these switches. It's kind of easy to trip them twice, so be careful and make sure that you've only tripped it once if you mean to trip it once. So bottom right, top right, then top left, bottom left? Yes, and then I need the middle one, and then the right one. And then something tricky happens here. I hit this. I think I just screwed myself over. No, I didn't. I'm fine. So that timer controls this gate here, which hides this treasure chest. So once you've figured out that, like, puzzle, the maze thing, which is really just clockwise, then middle, and then right button, but once you've worked your way through that, you gotta hit that switch and make your way over here pretty quickly, because as you saw, even using my burrow underground technique, I still only had like 2 or 3 seconds left when I got to the gate. And then... did I trip that on the way out? Causing myself problems here. So like, this should be like that. And then... it's supposed to go left... middle, top right, middle. Okay. No, let's trip it again. Alright, I need left. I need middle. Top right. And then middle. Yeah, and that opens up the top section, where there's a new hat. I like the Jester hat for Garchomp, but it's been a while since he's got a new one, so we're definitely gonna put on this awesome Trojan helmet. Yes, equip that. Increases defense, that's nice. I don't believe there's anything else in this area, so you can use this teleporter to get back to start without messing around with the buttons.
The air element are stronger in this zone.
I'm aware of that. Let's switch over to our undead Skylander. Since undead is the type, we'll need to open the other gate in this corner. Keep freaking myself out with these weird, like, batclopses. I'm just gonna keep adding clops to the end of things to imply that it has one eye. I don't know why, I like this naming system. So those are like Batclopses. And the teddy bear from before was a Bearclops. I want a pet Bearclops, that sounds awesome.
The undead element are stronger in this zone.
I am stronger in this zone. Right. Which one is this? Trigger both these, go through here. Teleport, very exciting. Look at all this stuff. Oh, right, this is like a battle zone. I forgot about this one. Yeah, there's not much trick to this. There is a new enemy type over there on the right, you may notice. He's dead now. Sorry about that. I was just trying not to die myself, but apparently just spamming electricity is a pretty good way to just kill everything in this room. So, you know, you can keep that in mind if you're playing with your own Cinder, which would not be named Alduin. Alright, there's another one of those horrible... Ow. Dang it, I hate those things. And the camera is not helping me. Like, the camera, like, if I'm not at the bottom, like, getting punched in the face by enemies I can't see, the camera's all about just, like, focusing on the middle of this room. But everyone's dead now. So those things, I forget what they're called. There's some sort of, like, Yeti. Those big blue guys that look kind of like Sully from Monsters, Inc. They do a lot of damage, but they're pretty short range. Also, some of the times you'll find them, they'll be, like, leashed to a pole. We'll see that later in this level. You know, normally I like to put on a new hat. This hat's pretty gross. But then again, the beanie hat's not great, and I haven't changed her hat in a while either, so you get to wear a gross eye on your head. It at least matches your, like, wing color, so that's cool. Anyway, let's head back out of here. Cross the bridge back to the mainland.
Skylanders of the air element.
There's the switch we need to get further on. I guess I have all the treasure, is that right? Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's hit that. I forgot how awesome her, like, upgraded lightning breath is. The reach on that is just impressive. Alduin's one of my favorites, as I've said already. Alright, it's time for tech time. You know what that means. Bomberman's gonna blow stuff up. Yeehaw! I don't know why periodically I become Southern. I think part of it has to do with Bomberman and my wanting to be, there we go, Cyclops Mammoth. They're super scary, so, like, watch out for that stuff. Oh, I forgot these guys could jump. Totally forgot that. Yeah, I'm totally on top of my game. I don't know what you're talking about, skeptical people in the viewing audience. Alright, not doing too bad. Bomberman here. I don't know, the last couple of times I've used him, it's gone pretty poorly. I feel bad about that. I really like Bomberman. I don't want to be doing damage to him. The one nice thing about, I forget the name of these spinning cyclopses, the ones with the axes who, like, become, air quotes, invulnerable. But the nice thing about them is that they have relatively low HP, so you can take them out pretty quickly if you can land a hit on them. Right now we're in one of the seeing towers, just so you know. That may not have been clear because the camera doesn't really make a show of the fact that we're in a special place, but that's where we are right now. That's why we had to warp inside, because there aren't any doors in the Skylands, or at least not functional ones by the seams of things. It's kind of an awkward phrase I just made up. Anyway, the gimmick here is that there's, like, eyes focusing on, like, a bird cage with a lightning rod on it. I don't know what that means. But you attack all of those, and then you attack the lightning rod. These things were glistening. I thought they might be treasure, but they're not. But one thing you want to make sure of is if there is any treasure or, like, food items lying around that you want to pick up after you defeat all the enemies here, make sure to pick them up before you destroy the bird cage, because the tower will destroy itself immediately after you attack it. Of course, now we have a bit of a snag, because before there was a gate here. Oh look, it's conveniently gone now. Yeah, so I had enough gold to upgrade Boomer to one of his abilities, although I think I want to save up... Shut up, crime. I think I want to save up to get his, like, Soul Gem ability, since I've already unlocked it, and I've never tried it before. I've never actually fully leveled him. Also, side note, you can blow up these eyes that are sort of perched around the level, the ones that aren't gate ones, like this guy. They're just sort of, like, hanging around. Doesn't do anything. I think sometimes it'll give you treasure, but I'm not sure of that. I think it does, though. I'm gonna switch back to... Oh no, I suppose we're no longer in Air Elemental Zone. That was just out there. Stop chasing me. And also have some dynamite. Here's some more possible treasure for me. It's very exciting. Yeah, so I want to get, like... I still forget. I think it's like 4,000 is the sort of base price for the Soul Gem upgrades. But, like, you can get the discount from the Winged Sapphires that makes it something like 3,600. So even though he's got a bunch of treasure, I think I'm going to let him pick this up. I think there's another treasure chest close to here, and I'll definitely switch to a new character for that. Blow this up, just because I like explosions. Cool guys don't look at explosions, but I can't move the camera to look away. So, you know, that's slightly disappointing. Makes me seem kind of lame. Then again, I think getting killed repeatedly by Chaos's minions also makes me seem kind of lame. Fell down here. Yes, now we're in an air area. Air area is awkward to say. Footnote. So here we go. Guy's gonna pick up some treasure for herself. She's coming up on being able to buy some nice upgrades as well. Maybe I'll get her Soul Gem ability too, since I've unlocked that. It's expensive, and it doesn't do a lot for you right away, but I like it. I know a lot of people are actually kind of down on it. Yeah, there's some cyclopses, just sort of like dirtling around. Let's take care of them first, because I really don't like the cyclopses. They're gonna beat the tar out of me right here, though. There we go. So that's taken care of. So yeah, here there's a number of eye switches that unlock that door I was just next to. So you're going to want to use your quickest Skylander for this, most likely. Or at least have a ranged attack so that you don't have to get up close to each one in order to trigger it to open up the next area. Something in, like, the corner down here, isn't there? There's some enemies to kill, and some free treasure lying around. And some treasure hiding inside of carts that I've vandalized. More enemies? Ah, yes, another treasure chest. I thought there was one in this area. Cool. Alright, she's gonna pick that up. I think I'm gonna have her and Boomer focus on getting their soul gem abilities for now, just because they're already getting close to those, and they're already unlocked. It's actually kind of a poor decision, to be honest. I may retcon that decision later on. Whatever I decide, I will let you know when I buy the upgrades. Although I'm planning on doing something to shorten the amount of time it takes to show the upgrades, because it's kind of boring. At least I think it is. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you find that boring. So let's get going on our journey. Oh, missed with my projectile egg. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Shout at you. Shout at this thing. Have some words with this guy. And then the door opens. One thing to note about these timed doors is that even if you're not necessarily in a position where you want to move on to the next area, you can always like trigger all the eyes and then like pass through the gate, because that will just keep it open indefinitely. So you don't have to go through right away, and as far as I know, none of those doors will ever close behind you, so you're never going to get stuck that way. Alright. Another tower means more tech time with Bomberman. But yeah, as I was saying about the upgrades, you're probably better off. As I said, you need to buy all the low-level ones before you can get to the branching path, which are sort of your ultimate upgrades for each character. There's no teleporter for that, I just sort of, like, appeared inside. Oh, he got close. Well, those things have less health than I remember. Also, there's 3 cyclopses here, so that kind of bites. Because, you know, I don't like them at all. You can destroy... They're standing on these stone pillars that you can destroy and get them... Oh, crap. Oh, crap. Rocks and stuff. You can get them down to the ground level by, like, attacking the pillars if you're using, like, close combat Skylanders, like, Garchomp or something. Alright, I think I took care of that Yeti-clops. This guy, like, fell off his own pillar and he's just, like, throwing rocks at it. That's kind of fun. Have some explosions! Free explosions! Buy 1, get 5 free! The first one is also free! Okay, so it looks like I've collected all this stuff, so it's back to demolishing bird cages, which is, you know, fun fact, it's a weird hobby, but it is a hobby of Boomer's. Pretty much likes demolition in general, I would say. Turn-ons include demolition. So there we go, we've destroyed both seeing towers now, which means this one's about to collapse. Oh my god! It's raining rubble! Awesome. Cool.
Skylanders of the air element.
I just realized why it was probably easier to kill those guys than I remember. Because it was a tech area and he was doing extra damage. But, yeah, that's one of the benefits of using the Skylander of the appropriate type. Which is why I think I'm going to be doing it a little bit more often. Although actually, the real reason is to get their experience boosted faster so that I don't have as much trouble dealing with, like, chaos and all that.
Skylanders of the air element.
Oh, they throw them quicker than I remember. Hey, guys! More bombs for everyone! Oh, I'm in an air area, but I don't really want to switch because there's chaos and death everywhere. Not actual chaos with a capital K, but like, you know, regular kind. Alright, now I've procured myself a safe corner, which means that I killed the dangerous thing in what would otherwise be a safe corner. I'll pick up this delicious meat. And then I'm gonna try and take care of this guy, because he's a jerk. Boom! Oh, level up. Good work, Bomberman. Cool. I forget what type this last room is. I think it has its own type. I think it's actually probably tech again. I think the inside of all the buildings might be tech element. Look, it's bad guys. There's more cyclopses on some pillars, and they're guarding the crystal eye we want. Give it up, you. Oh no, we're still in an air area. So I'm gonna take advantage of that since Boomer just leveled. See if Guile can level up too. Oh man, there's so much chaos. Tiny guys running around, giant boulders flying around. Nothing is actually flying, but things are flying around, like metaphorically speaking, all over the place. It's bedlam. It's just bedlam. Right, and I think in this one, once you kill all the guys in the main room, more enemies spawn from both sides of the room. Oh yeah, level up. Have some eggs. Can't make an omelet without throwing a few eggs full of dangerous baby griffins. Actually, I think you probably can do that, because I've seen people make omelets before, and I don't think I've ever seen a dangerous baby griffin in my life. I'm not sure of that. Let me know what your experience has been in the comments. There's another Yeti-clops. Man, they jump far. They got some ups. They should play, oh god, they should play basketball for the Skylander basketball team. Okay, I'm gonna switch out to a new character. She just leveled, and I'm taking some serious damage. Let's use Phoenix Wright. I haven't really showcased him at all this level. Just got him that new Phoenix Dash attack, which he used to kill a Yeti-clops. Isn't that the name of that book everyone reads in high school? No, wait. To kill a... What type of animal was that? I think it was a Yeti-clops. To kill a mockingbird? No, that's wrong. That can't be it. Anyway, thanks to the efforts of our Skylander team, we've got a big fragile ball.
Wow! Amazing! Suddenly everything is so much clearer. Let's get it back to the ruins and add it to the machine.
That sounds like a plan, digs the blind mole. And look at that. Got all the collections, leveled up 2 of our characters, got a bunch of treasure. Looks like we did a good job today. No one even died. Took a lot of damage at the end there, but I was doing pretty good. You gotta admit. You at least have to admit it was better than the last level.
Well done. You have brought the crystal eye.
Not sure how putting a crystal eyeball on top of a fountain did that, but hey, I don't know much about magical cores of light, strangely enough.
Thank you! Now we must get the Eternal Earth Source. The villagers in Stone Town have recovered it and are keeping it safe until we arrive.
Woohoo, yeah! Finally, an easy one! What did I tell ya? Cake!
Except for Chaos, the Growing Darkness, and the foul-smelling Cyclopses, all looking for the very thing that we're after.
Oh, yeah, well, I guess if you count those.
Don't be such a buzzkill, Hugo, come on.
We should ask him.
Really, you want to ask that guy for advice? He doesn't seem good.
Say, how's about a visit to Stone Town?
Oh, that's actually really weird. This may be the only time in the game where they immediately cut you from the cutscene to possibly leaving to the next level. But we're not going to do that today. We'll take care of that next time. We'll head off to Stone Town. Probably do some upgrading at the start of the next episode as well. One thing I wanted to touch on before we go, though...
That's a relief. I wasn't going to mention it, but I can't see a thing in that tunnel.
Is that... in the past, I know I mentioned that most elemental sort of areas, like groups of levels, they come in threes, and like the first one, you're just sort of like killing a bunch of enemies for the sake of doing it, really. And then the second time, you're often picking up an item that like helps the elemental source do something. You know, like the twin spouts help the water spray out of the core of light for whatever purpose that serves. And then the last one, you get the element source. when Hugo says it's time to get the element source, he's not kidding. Even though we just got the water source, and we've only had one level in between, the Earth area is only 2 levels long, which is weird. I believe it's the only one that's that short. I also find it really disappointing because Earth is probably my favorite of the areas in the main game. The way you actually get the Core of Light element is definitely my favorite in the game, but I don't want to spoil that because it's fun, and I don't like spoilers, so I don't want to ruin the story for you. But I am going to make you dizzy by running in circles. I'll give you some time to go throw up from motion sickness, and in the next episode we'll head off to Stone Town and get the Eternal Earth Source. Doesn't that sound exciting? We'll be almost halfway there, sort of. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope that you like this video, and I hope that you keep watching. Maybe check out some of my other stuff. See you later, guys.